Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Welcome back again for this evening session. I think I was supposed to be somewhere else for session, but somehow by the transcendental arrangement of Krishna I am back here. So we will discuss on this topic how to act as an instrument in Krishna's service. Shall we keep it little interactive?
Yes.
So that my throat gets some relief as you are speaking. I can also learn from you. So first let's discuss the logic behind acting as an instrument. Before we understand how to act as an instrument, we need to understand why to act as an instrument in Krishna's service. What's the logic? Prabhupada often gives this example that this hand is a part and parcel of this body. Hand is a part of the body. Hand is an amsha of the body. Finger is an amsha of hand. Amsha. This is amsha, this is amsha. This nail, amsha. So part of the body. So as a part of the body, the role of hand is to contribute for the overall function of the body, right? So when I have some headache, when I put some pain balm here, a hand has to touch the balm and then apply it here. You can't say, I have conflict with the head. Hand cannot say, I have conflict with the head. I will not contribute anything to the head. Or leg has some pain, have to put some ointment here. Hand will say, no cooperation. I will not put. Head, leg cannot put on itself. Or if all the other body parts feel that we don't like stomach. Stomach is just taking all the food and not doing any contribution, while hands and looks are all doing all the services. So we'll not feed the stomach. If all the body limbs go on strike and don't feed the stomach, will the hand be strong enough? Will the leg be strong enough? Will the body be strong enough? So stomach has certain function to take in food and process it and give strength to all the other limbs, right? If you don't feed that stomach, your other limbs cannot get the strength. You can't put idli on the hand and then but let the hand be strong. You can't put chapati on the leg and say leg be strong. You can't pour sambar on the head and let hand be let eyes and nose, everything will get nourished. We are bringing that in contact with food. So there is a channel through which all the bodily limbs get their nourishment and strength. So you have to feed the stomach only, nothing else. No other way of feeding. So, and through the mouth only, not through any other hole. So there is a way which is set. Similarly, we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. Just like the bodily limbs are part of this body, big body. Similarly, we are all parts of Krishna. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamaiva amsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha mama eva amsho. All the jivas are my amshas. They are all my parts. As amshas of Krishna, our job is to serve Krishna. Right? Just like parts of the body are supposed to serve the body. Now, it's an analogy. You can't say, okay, part of the body, if the finger is cut, body is incomplete. If the soul is disconnected from the Lord is not incomplete, the soul is incomplete. Right? The finger is disconnected, body is incomplete, finger is also incomplete. But still the body can function without the finger, but the finger cannot function without the body. But don't overstretch the analysis beyond certain limit. So they have their own limits. So whenever the body is compared to the Lord and the jivas and the devatas are compared to the limbs of the body, if something is happening to the devata, that does not mean the Lord is affected by it. That we need to understand. Now, there is another shloka in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that says, Jivera Swarupahai Krishner Nitya Das. So Bhagavad Gita shloka says we are all amshas. And Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka says we are all das, servants. We are parts of Krishna, we are servants of Krishna. Being parts and servants of Krishna, our duty is to serve Krishna. So this is the logic. Understood? First point we made. So 2 points we made. We are all amshas of Krishna, therefore we need to act in accordance with Krishna's will. Act as an instrument in Krishna's will, to be more specific. Secondly, we are all servants of Krishna. Our eternal duty, nature is to serve Krishna. Eternal engagement is to serve Krishna. In fact, we get the greatest satisfaction only in service to Krishna and nothing else. Proof for that is the most popular shloka in the Bhagavatam. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktira dhakshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. When you selflessly and consistently serve Krishna, then your heart will be completely nourished and satisfied. So that's very clear. So just like hand gets its own nourishment only by feeding the body and not by keeping the food on the hand itself. Similarly, soul gets nourishment only by serving Krishna and not by doing self-service. Okay, not working for sense gratification but to serve Krishna. Right? So this is the logic behind acting as an instrument. So service to Krishna is best rendered in the mood of being an instrument in Krishna's will, an instrument in Krishna's desires. Krishna has a desire, Krishna has a will. Let me act in accordance with that. And that's where our nourishment and our satisfaction, fulfillment comes from. Clear, right? So this is the logic behind acting as Krishna's instruments. But this is not sufficient for an average conditioned soul to digest or accept. Why? Firstly, an average conditioned soul who has ego, false ego, is not comfortable to consider oneself a part. You are comparing me with a hand, you are comparing me with a finger, you are comparing me with an amsha of God. I am nobody's amsha, I am independent. So that mood is there, therefore this word amsha is not that appealing to an average conditioned soul. If this is not appealing to average conditioned soul, how can the next description be appealing? Second point. Jiva Surabhi Krishna Nityadas. Nityadas? Constantly servant? I am always a servant? I am nobody's servant. I want to be independent. Right? I am autonomous. I want full autonomy. I don't want to serve anyone. This is also a little uncomfortable. That's why people cannot act as instruments in someone else's will. Instrument. Instrument has no consciousness. This is an instrument. Prabhu is operating it. The way he is operating it, it's working. Sometimes it doesn't work also. Right? But the instrument has no independence to decide to function in a certain way. A living being, an animate being, has to operate it, and the instrument has to act in accordance with the will of the operator. Right? The speaker cannot speak anything. Whatever I am speaking, it's amplifying. That's all. So that designation or position or identity or upadhi as servant of someone who is supposed to act according to someone else's will is very, very painful for the conditioned soul to accept. Right? I can't be instrument in someone else's will. I can't act in accordance with someone else's desires. I have my own desires. I have my own independence. Don't call me instrument. Don't call me a tool. Don't. I'm not a phone. I'm not a tripod. I'm not a speaker. I'm not a seat. I'm not mat. I'm not a light. I'm a living being. I have desires. I have thoughts. I have feelings. I want to act in a certain way that is appealing to me. So how can you work for someone else, even if it's God or anybody? That's the general tendency or mood of an average conditioned soul. Therefore, when you tell them, Nimitta matram bhava sabyasachi, then they will say, I am sabyasachi, I can't do nimitta matram. Sabyasachi means one who can throw arrows with both hands. I don't know how to do it. Right? But he can do it. Arjuna can do it. But Krishna says, although you are a sabyasachi, you are nimitta matram. Although you are very expert, mighty armed person, very expert in whatever you are doing, but still you are my instrument only. Arjuna did not feel hurt hearing this statement, but most conditioned souls cannot accept it. It can't be instrument. Yesterday Prabhu was making a wonderful point that why so many celebrities or big people don't accept spirituality. Because they are not very comfortable to attribute their accomplishment to God or anybody else or Guru. Therefore, they don't submit to Guru or God because they want the credit for all their accomplishments and activities for themselves only. They can't attribute to somebody else. Wonderful. That is the ego conditioned soul. Therefore, this whole thing, acting as an instrument in someone else's will, Guru's desires, Krishna's desires, or Vaishnava's desires, that's so uncomfortable for the conditioned soul who is filled with ego, who is filled with desires for one's own personal enjoyment, selfish enjoyment, since time immemorial. Right? So, the class doesn't end here. Class would have ended if it is easy for a conditioned soul to accept these two shlokas, Mamaivansho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha, and Jiva Swarupahe Krishnera Nityadas. And feed the stomach. Yatha Taror Mola Nishechanena Trupyanti Tatskanda Bhujo Apashakha. Right, you water the root. Don't sprinkle water on the leaves and twigs. He said, no, I'll sprinkle the water on the leaves and twigs. Sufficient. I'll not water the root. They said, fine. You can sprinkle the water on the leaves also. You can pour the water on the root also. You may say like that. Means, okay, the discussion goes somewhere else, but I'll just keep it like this. So the progression of this shloka, Yatha Taror Mola Nishechanena means, is that you worship the Lord, you don't have to worship any other devatas. That's the point there. But somebody may question that what's wrong if I worship other people also along with worshipping the Lord? I'll water the root also, I'll sprinkle water on the leaves and twigs also. That's their argument. Then the next example is given where exclusivity is attributed to Krishna worship. Okay, you can sprinkle water on the leaves and you can pour water on the root, fine. But you can't keep food on the limbs of the body. You have to feed only the stomach. Then exclusivity comes into picture. Then all the other shlokas will fall in place. Yepyanya devata bhakta this and that. So, anyways, the point here is because we are amshas of Krishna, because we are the servants of Krishna, our duty is to act as instrument in Krishna's will. But this, all the 2-3 points that we made so far are not acceptable to a conditioned soul. Therefore, let's further the discussion. When you act according to Krishna's will, or when you act according to the will of anybody who's more powerful than you, right? Your boss is more powerful than you. You're an employee, and you have an employer. So, employer is more powerful than employee. if you act according to the will of an employer, huh, then what will happen? The employee will give you privileges. Employer will give you privileges. Employer will give you salary or hike or whatever. So, how will you progress in your professional life? Only by pleasing someone who is greater than you in that profession, serving your boss, right? It's a simple materialistic, material way of doing things, right? Material life may how do you progress, right? So by acting according to the will of someone who is superior to you, you grow up to your full potential, or you grow beyond your assumed potential also. Similarly, in spiritual circles, when you agree to act according to Krishna's desires, you will accomplish more than what you can ordinarily accomplish. Recently, we celebrated Kartik month. So, what is the most favorite Leela that is discussed in Kartik month? Damodar Leela. Fine. So, in Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda bound Krishna's belly with a rope. She bound him to a wooden grinding mortar. What did Krishna do? Krishna slowly crawled and dragged that wooden grinding mortar between the two tall, strong, deep-rooted Yamalarjuna trees and pulled them very effortlessly and uprooted them. They collapsed. Right? Now Krishna's desire is to liberate the sons of Kuvera. Krishna's desire is to uproot these Yamalarjuna trees. Actually, it's not Krishna's desire. It is Narada Muni's desire. Krishna is acting as an instrument in Narada Muni's desire. If you act as an instrument in Krishna's will, Krishna will act as an instrument of your will. I'll come to this point little later. Okay, let me make this point also. So, being a part of Krishna is at one level, being a servant of Krishna is at another level. But another point here is, when you act according to the will of the Lord, you are expressing your gratitude, you are expressing your love, you are expressing your emotions, you are expressing your affection. I will act according to your expectations, your will, your desires. So that's an expression of love. Oh Lord, you want patram pushpam phalam toyam? I will bring and offer it to you. Just like a child desires something, to eat something. For example, child has a desire to eat pizza. You like pizza? You like? Okay. Yeah. So mother will make a pizza and then offer. So she's working according to the will of the child, desire of the child. And it's not like an obligation. It's not that your autonomy is getting obstructed. It's not that your independence is getting intruded by someone. It's not that your ego is getting crushed. It's not that your sense of honor and prestige is being compromised when you're acting according to someone else's will. It's love. It's pure love. Who is she to dictate me? My daughter. She was born much later than me. Who is she to tell me what I should cook? Whatever I cook, she should eat. Right? Sometimes mother say that also. but when the child wants to eat something, mother will extend herself and then offer something to the child. Right? That is an expression of love. Similarly, when mother expects something from the child will do it out of gratitude. So acting according to the will of someone else can be an expression of love, affection, compassion, or gratitude and thankfulness. Both ways. So you received something from them, you are acting according to their desires out of gratitude. Right? Or you have love and affection for them, you are acting according to their desires out of your compassion, your kindness, your love for them. So love can be one motivation, gratitude can be another motivation, obligation can be one motivation, and your constitutional position is the basic motivation. You are actually servant. You have to serve, right? There are multiple reasons why we have to act as instruments in Krishna's will. And now coming to the other point, Krishna uprooted these Yamalarjuna trees. Krishna is a 2-3-year-old boy. How can he have that strength to uproot such huge trees, which are maybe 100 times taller than him, 100 times stronger than him. Fine, he's God. Although he's a child, he's in the form of a child, he's God, he can uproot. Click. But what are the instruments that Krishna is using to uproot the trees? Little rope, grinding mortar. That grinding mortar is very small, just to grind spices. If you want to make some chutney, in those days, my mother used to grind all these spices or some chutney for idli, even idli batter also, in that small little roll, grinding mortar. Okay, right. Then all the mixer grinders came. So that wooden grinding mortar is so small. The amount of wood which is there in that mortar is insignificant compared to the amount of wood that is there in these tall trees. But Krishna used that as an instrument. And Mother Yashoda did not bind Krishna with some iron chains. She bound Krishna with some simple silken ropes, household ropes. That were not so tightly. She understands, this is my child. I'm just disciplining him, but I don't want to trouble him so much. Just want to restrict his movements because no one else was there at that time in the home to take care of Krishna. Rohini Mata and Balram went out on Upananda's invitation. Nanda Maharaj is out for his work and Yashoda Mata is alone. So she just wanted to keep Krishna home because he was so agitated. He said, "You are calling me monkey? You are calling me monkey lover? I will not stay in your home. I will go to forest and stay with the monkeys only." Then Yashoda Mata decided, then I have to bind him now. Otherwise he will run away. So that's the context where Yashoda Mata made that decision. So Yashoda Mata did not bind Krishna with very strong ropes or iron chains. It's a simple rope. So rope is very weak, mortar is very small, but Krishna has used these two things as instruments to uproot the Yamalarjuna trees. They are very weak and small. There is absolutely no comparison between the strength of these two instruments and these two trees. There is only comparison between the strength of rope and the mortar. If the rope is stronger than the mortar, mortar will break. If the mortar is stronger than the rope, rope will break. When Krishna is trying to uproot the trees. But rope did not break, mortar did not break, trees fell down. What does it mean? Acharyas say that Krishna has empowered this little rope, this little mortar, with the power to destroy the Yamalarjuna trees, with the power to uproot the Yamalarjuna trees. When you agree to act as an instrument in Krishna's will, Krishna's desire, Krishna's plans, you will accomplish more than what you can ordinarily accomplish. Now, it's exciting, right? If I tell you, you're a servant, you should act according to Krishna's will. You're a part and parcel. You're like a limb, you're like a twig or leaf, you have to act according to Krishna's will. It's a little uncomfortable to the ego. But now, it's very exciting. Oh, I will do something more than what I can ordinarily do. I can accomplish more than what I can ordinarily accomplish. My power will increase, my talent will increase, my fame will increase, my power, my influence will increase. If I act according to Krishna's will, that's exciting. Okay, let me do it. People want incentives. People want some boost of their ego. Many of them, not humble devotees. Humble devotees will act as instruments of Krishna's will, but there are some people who will become very uncomfortable. One day in our Vidyapit class, somebody asked me, what is this acting according to Krishna's will? Being an instrument of Krishna's will, what is this? Logic. That's what we are discussing now. So when we do things according to Krishna's desire, when we align our desires according to Krishna's desires, that is the best way of living life. That is the most meaningful, purposeful way of living life. We will be empowered to grow up to our full potential and go beyond our potential because Krishna's potential comes with us. If you disconnect ourselves from Krishna, there is no growth. Right? There is stagnancy. And in fact, there is degradation. So Krishna, he empowered this rope and mortar with the ability to uproot Yamalarjuna trees. Similarly, Krishna has a flute. Madan Mohanji has a flute. What is flute in Vrindavan? It's just a dry bamboo stick, hollow stick with some holes all over its body. How can something that has holes all over its body hold anything? But this stick, bamboo, dry bamboo wooden stick that has holes all over its body is holding so many ragas. This dry stick is moistening the eyes of so many people. With Krishna's melodious flute song, Krishna brings tears in the eyes of so many hearers. All the gopis of Vrindavan are praising the flute of Krishna. All the gopis of Vrindavan are so impressed, thoroughly impressed and excited and attracted to Krishna's flute song. They leave everything else. Pati sutanvayad bhratrubandhava ati vilangyate yachyutagata gati virastavo gita mohita kitavayoshita kastya jenishi. Udgita mohita. Hearing this loud flute song of Krishna, all the gopis are mohita. They become attracted and they left everything. Pati, Sutta, Bhratar, Bandha, they left everybody. They crossed all the social customs. They gave Vedic regulations. They gave up Vedic regulations. They left their family members. They ran towards Krishna. All because Krishna played this flute. That little flute that Krishna is playing has the power or acquired that power to attract the attention of millions and billions of gopis and even great masters of musical science in the upper planets and higher lokas. Vishnu gets impressed when Krishna plays flute. Indra gets impressed. Shiva gets impressed. Brahma gets impressed. These are all masters of musical science. They know a good deal of music and melodies, ragas. But when Krishna is playing his flute, they think, what note is he playing? What melodies is playing? Which raga it is? What kind of tala we have to put in accordance with this raga? And Krishna is so expert in playing his flute that he blends his flute song very, very expertly with the natural sounds of Vrindavan. What are the natural sounds of Vrindavan? Chirping of birds, breeze, waterfalls, Yamuna water, peacocks, parrots, all of them are making some sounds, and Krishna expertly blends his flute song into these natural sounds of Vrindavan. Varha piyadam natavarapuhu karnayor karnikaram vibhradva sahakanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamala randhran venuradhara sudhaya purayan gopa vrinde vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirti. He's filling the holes of his flute with the nectar of his lips and generating mesmerizing ragas, Mallar raga, Mallavashri raga, and blending this beautiful song into the natural sounds of Vrindavan according to the season and mesmerizing everyone, attracting the attention of all the cows and the calves and the birds and the peacocks and the deer and doe, buck, sages, devatas who are flying in airplanes. Where did this dry bamboo stick get so much of power? Because this dry bamboo stick flute is there in Krishna's hand as an instrument, musical instruments to produce music. Because the flute agreed to act as an instrument in Krishna's will, the flute has that power to create a great revolution in the entire universe. If Krishna can empower a bamboo stick with that ability to mesmerize the entire universe, why can't Krishna empower a conscious devotee who agrees to act as an instrument in his will? So this is the idea of being an instrument in Krishna's will. You are empowered to accomplish things more than your ability. And this word instrument specifically comes in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna said, you also repeat after me, Tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva Jitva shatrun bhukshva rajyam samruddham Mayaivaite nihataha purvameva Nimitta matram bhava savyasachim. Tasmat tvam yasholabhasva. Tasmat, therefore, my dear Arjuna. Why he is saying therefore? Because this shloka is a continuation of previous shlokas. Earlier Krishna already said, Kalosmi loka kshayat krit pravriddha. Means I am time factor. I have come here to destroy everything material. And Rite Vitvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Except you people, Pandavas, righteous people, I am going to destroy everybody on this battlefield of Kurukshetra. All these people, Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Karna, Shakuni, they can't survive. You have seen, right? They are entering my mouths. Some fire is emanating from the mouth of Virat Rup, Vishwarup, and all these people are entering that fire. So Krishna has already decided their death. I am going to destroy everybody. So Tasmat, therefore, Tvam, you, Uttishta, get up. Tasmat Tvam Uttishta Yasholabhasva. You get up and fight, and Yasholabhasva. Yasha means fame, reputation. Labhasva means you attain. So I will kill all these people. Actually, I have already killed all these people. You just fight and win glory. Tasmat tvam uttishta yasholabhasva jitva shatrun means conquer your enemies. Bhunkshva rajyam samruddham. Bhunkshva means you enjoy. Rajyam means kingdom. Samruddham means prosperous. You attain reputation. You conquer enemies. You enjoy a prosperous kingdom. Now in these three, which is more austere? Bhunkshva rajyam samruddham. It means enjoying a prosperous kingdom is easy. Attaining fame, Yasholabhasva, that is also exciting. But this middle thing, that's a bit tricky. Jitva Shatrun, how can I conquer enemies? They are not my enemies, they are my family members. How can I conquer? Even if I have to conquer, I have to put so much of hard work. Therefore Krishna said, you don't have to do any hard work. Why? Third line. Mayaivaite nihataha purvameva. Purvameva, pehle se. Munde in Telugu. So Purvameva, I have already defeated them, killed them. Right? Mayaivaite nihataha Purvameva. By me, they have already been killed. What am I supposed to do then? Nimitta matram bhava savyasachim. Just be an instrument in my will. I have already killed them. You just have to manifest their death by just releasing arrows like this. Right? Nimitta matram bhava savyasachim. You are savyasachim. With your two hands, you keep showering arrows upon them. Then they will kill. Dummy. Right? Everything is programmed. Swipe your card, that's all. Right? Everything is already predestined. I have already attributed all kingdom to you and rulership to you. You just have to manifest their deaths. Just one signature sufficient. Right? Everything has been arranged. You just come and do ribbon cutting. You don't have to build the building. Just come and do ribbon cutting. Bas. We'll put your big frame. You are the founder, or you are the inaugurator, you are this, you are that. Right? So Krishna is doing all the hard work of killing all the demons, but out of his kindness, he is giving all the credit to his devotees. Jitva shatrun bhunkshvarajyam samriddham. So the idea of being an instrument in Krishna's will is, Krishna desires to see his devotees glorious, just like a parent sees the child being very glorious or famous or doing big things and feels very happy. Similarly, Krishna also feels so happy when people in this world are praising the devotees, his devotees, because he has that parental affection towards his devotees. He wants to see his devotees so glorious and famous and influential and let people praise my devotees. So he will do everything, and he says, you just be my instrument. He's not using you as an instrument. He's doing all hard work and then giving you all credit. Now it's exciting? Earlier, when we say you are servant of Krishna, you are part of Krishna, you are this, you are that, you are dependent on him, you have to be grateful to him, you have to express your emotions, you have to do service. ऐसा करो. But here you see Krishna is doing everything and then he is giving you all credit. Now it's exciting, right? It is love. Out of his love, Krishna just acts as a driver of Arjuna and makes Arjuna the hero of Kurukshetra battle. So when you act according to Krishna's will, when you act as an instrument in Krishna's service, then Krishna will make you do things which you cannot ordinarily do at all. That empowerment comes from Krishna. That blessing comes from Krishna. And in fact, Krishna likes to offer credit to his devotees. Krishna is called Sarva Saundarya Sangraham, means he is the collection of all beauties. The real beauty of Krishna is not just a physical beauty. Of course, it is beauty, spiritual beauty. But the actual beauty of Krishna is the beauty of his heart, where he gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. Krishna is more excited to offer credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. He gives credit, he gives comforts, he gives facilities, he gives name, fame, prestige, and he remains in the background. It is Krishna who orchestrated the entire Kurukshetra war and enabled and empowered and assisted the Pandavas to win this Kurukshetra battle, isn't it? But after Krishna won the battle, who sat on the throne of Hastinapur? Yudhishthira Maharaj. Did Krishna ever sit? Krishna never sat. He doesn't want the kingdom. Let Yudhishthira Maharaj rule. Krishna defeated Jarasandha with his 17 Akshohinis of armies, with 23 Akshohinis of armies 17 times. But Krishna did not personally kill Jarasandha. He empowered and gave that opportunity of killing Jarasandha to Bhima. He went, he took Bhima in front of Jarasandha, he made all the blueprint, master plan. And when Bhima was unable to kill Jarasandha, even after almost 4 weeks of fight, 27-28 days they fought with each other, but nobody is winning. Both are like more or less having equal strength. Bhima is unable to kill Jarasandha. It's not that Bhima effortlessly killed Jarasandha. Krishna showed Bhima. He took a small blade of grass, bifurcated into two, and then threw in different directions. And Bhima got the idea. Oh. Then he bifurcated Jarasandha's body into 2 parts and then threw in different directions. That's how he killed. Now, Krishna had the ability to kill Jarasandha. He has already defeated Jarasandha 17 times with 23 Akshohinis of armies. One Akshohini of army is like some hundreds and thousands of soldiers and infantry. But Krishna did not kill Jarasandha. Let my devotee, my dear devotee Bhima get that glory of killing Jarasandha. I will take a back seat. I will only bifurcate a blade of grass. But let my devotee bifurcate the body of Jarasandha. And Yashola Bhasva, let him become glorious, let him become famous as killer of Jarasandha. Let people praise him. I'll be happy. So Krishna takes great pleasure in seeing his devotees being praised by others. That's why Krishna makes us as instruments in his will. Krishna is being selfless. Don't think that when Krishna is making us instruments in his desires, he's exploiting us. Don't think that it is exploitation. Don't think that he's using us. Don't think that Krishna is self-centered. Just because we are devotees, we are servants, he's exploiting us. He is just using us. He's engaging us in so many things. This Krishna. I need my own space. I want to do things on my own. I can't just act according to their will. It's very big blow on the ego for an average conditioned soul. But when you act as Krishna's instrument, see what all Krishna is accomplishing through you and giving all credit to you. Bhima could not have killed Jarasandha without Krishna giving him that idea. Arjuna could not have killed Bhishma or Karna or Drona or anyone without Krishna assisting him. And Krishna is just being a driver, advisor, that's all. Counselor, mentor, observer. That's all. And Yudhishthira could not have sat on the throne without Krishna assisting him. And Krishna is doing everything. But but he's in the back seat. Who is humble and who is arrogant here? Right? If you think that Krishna is expecting us to act as his instrument, it seems a very rude and arrogant statement. It seems that he's subduing us or oppressing us or suppressing us or using us or exploiting us. But it's not like that. It's an expression of love. Jitva Shatrun, you conquer the enemies. I have killed them, you conquer. One who has killed is the conqueror. But Krishna says, Mayaivaite nihataha purvameva. I have killed them and Jitva Shatrun, you conquer them. See this? It doesn't make much sense. It doesn't make logical sense in one sense. Right? Krishna says, I killed them and you conquer them. If you have killed, you are the conqueror. How can I be the conqueror? That's the point of being an instrument. You get the glory of conquering them. You get the fame of being the hero of Kurukshetra battle. And you get the kingdom. You enjoy the kingdom. I will go to Dwarka. I have built a small kingdom in the middle of the ocean in Kushasthali Dvipa. I will go to my island. Okay, I will not bother you. Krishna never said, see Pandavas, without me you could not have won this Kurukshetra battle. Without me you could not have got this Hastinapur kingdom. Let me go and sit on the throne. At least few days let me sit, enjoy. He never said like that. Not only in the case of Pandavas, although Krishna personally killed, at least in Kurukshetra battle, Krishna just empowered the Pandavas to kill Duryodhana, Dushasana, all these people. But in Mathura, Krishna personally killed Kamsa, but he never sat on Mathura throne. He made Ugrasen Maharaj to sit there. And Krishna personally erected the entire fort of Dwarka overnight. He is the one who made the entire kingdom, but he never sat on Dwarka's throne. He made Ugrasen Maharaj to sit. Instrument. That's the glory of being an instrument. You will become king and he will just be an advisor or Krishna is reporting to Ugrasen Maharaj, oh my dear king, this is what has happened in this place, this is what has happened in that place. As a normal citizen or as a member of the family of Yadus or as a subordinate to this king Ugrasen Maharaj, he is sitting there. He is sitting there and offering obeisances to Ugrasen Maharaj and giving reports to Ugrasen Maharaj. Although Ugrasen Maharaj never fought in any battle, he is not known for his paurusham. Ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam na chagunai bhakti priyo madhava. The Lord loves devotion in the hearts of his devotees. So he is pleased with their devotion and he empowers them to accomplish so many things while he stays in the background. So, acting as an instrument in Krishna's will is not humiliating yourselves. It's not allowing yourself to get exploited. It's not tolerating someone else's domination over you. It's not that you are being oppressed or suppressed or dominated or strangled or used up. No, it's a glorious activity. Life is best lived by being an instrument of Krishna's compassion. As Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shachah. Sarva dharman parityajya, keep aside all the duties or dharmas that we have concocted. Mamekam sharanam vraja, just take my shelter, surrender it to me. I will relieve you from all papas. All sinful activities, sinful reactions. Many people follow dharma to eradicate their papa. Then Krishna said, Sarva dharman parityajya. Then next, in third line he said, Aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayisya. Right? You give up all the dharmas which you follow to eradicate your papa. So the real dharma that you need to follow is Mamekam sharanam vraja. That is sufficient. I will relieve you from all sinful reactions. And I will give you much more than that. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasati Tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. I will take care of you, you don't worry. Yogakshema, your yoga and your kshema is my responsibility. You don't have to overstretch yourself to carry the burden of your maintenance. I will personally carry the burden of your maintenance. What else is required? Never think that Krishna is being overly authoritative or suppressing us or oppressing us by expecting us to act as instrument in his will. Whoever acts as instrument in Krishna's will out of love and affection and devotion, Krishna agrees to act as instrument in their will. I will be the driver, you be the warrior, you be the hero. Who else? If somebody is making you instrument in their will they become subordinate to you? Will they put you in the highest pedestal and they will sit there? The parents sometimes tell the kids, you go on the stage and make this performance. Parents are not coming on the stage. And I see many times in kids program, Sunday school kids program and all, teachers are there training the kids so much. And the teachers don't perform on the stage. Teachers are there just directing and the kids get all the glory, kids get all the claps. Even if they make mistakes also they get claps. Right? And if any feedback has to be given, all the feedback goes to the teacher, not the kids. Right? So you have not trained the kids properly. So just by acting as an instrument in the teacher's will, in the teacher's training, reciprocating with the teacher's training or the parents' training, kids are getting all glory. And parents are doing all the hard work and teachers are doing all the hard work. They are on sides, just encouraging, hey, do like this, do like that. Once there was a school annual function program. There were small children. They don't even ABCD also. Very small kids, nursery kids are like that. So these kids are told by the teachers to go and stand on the stage. Right? 7 of them. They were standing on the stage in certain order. And they have to stand in that order only. They have no independence. They have no autonomy. If one child goes from here to there, then the teacher will immediately come and say, no, don't stand there. Stand here. They were obedient. They were following. They were standing in queue, in that line. And the curtain opened. All these little kids are standing there with their sweet smiles on their face, and all the people who were in the audience, all the parents and whoever came for the annual function, they were clapping with great smiles because all the children are having a small sheet, an alphabet on their chest. WELCOME. Welcome. So these little children are welcoming all the parents and whoever has come for the meeting, and they give so much happiness to everyone. They got claps, and when they are clapping, the kids are also smiling. If they have changed the order, welcome will become Melcow, or Cowwell, or Mel, whatever, different permutations. So just by agreeing to stand there in the same spot as taught by the teacher in the same order, the kids are getting glory. They are getting claps. Welcome, welcome. So they're welcoming. They're welcoming people. They don't even know that they're welcoming all these hundreds and thousands of people in the audience. That's the glory of acting as an instrument in a superior self, in Guru's desires, in Krishna's desires. So if you become so self-centric, thinking that we know everything, we know what to do, and if you don't agree to Krishna's instructions or Guru's instructions, you will not be able to flourish in life. Now we talked so much about acting according to Krishna's will. Let's talk a little bit about acting according to Guru's desire. In fact, for us sadhakas, acting according to Guru's desire comes before acting according to Krishna's desire. In fact, acting according to Guru's desire is equal to acting according to Krishna's desire. Our material desires are like ripples on river that will never stop. They will never stop. And Guru's desire to serve Krishna, they are like tides of ocean. They will also never stop. Right? So our material desires are like ripples on river that will never stop. But whenever this river flows nicely and meets the ocean, then the insignificant ripples of the river are overpowered by the significant and huge oceanic tides. The waves will overpower these ripples, and ripples are not visible anymore, only waves are visible. Similarly, when a disciple aligns his will or her will according to Guru's desire, and acts as an instrument in Guru's desire, and acts in alignment with Guru's expectations, then then also personal material desires will be vanquished, and Guru's desires to serve Krishna will take over. So, by acting according to Guru's desires, we will give up our material desires, uh, we will vanquish our materialistic uh, thoughts and desires and activities, and will be purified. So let us try to act according to the instructions or expectations of Guru and serve Krishna, and thus act according to the act as an instrument in Krishna's will and make our life successful, meaningful, purposeful. Otherwise, we'll be swayed away by this material mind, constantly motivated by Maya, thinking that I'm independent, I have freedom, I have svecha, I have swatantrata. That is foolishness. It is foolishness to think of living an independent life disconnected from Krishna or his devotees. Because we will be empowered to accomplish much more than we can ordinarily accomplish by acting as Krishna's instruments. And Krishna will act as our instrument. All this happens on the platform of love and affection, not on the platform of exploitation. It's affection, not exploitation. And Krishna, how much menial service he did to the Pandavas? Sarathya parishada sevana sakhya dautya वीरासनानुगमनस्तवन प्रणाम स्निग्धेषु पाण्डुषु जगत् प्रणतिं च विष्णोर् भक्तिं करोति नृपतिश्चरणारविन्दे. Sarathya, he's a Sarathi, means he's a chariot driver. Parishada, he received Agrapuja and Rajasviya sacrifice. Sevana, he's serving the Pandavas. Sakhya, he's like a friend. Dautya, he's like a messenger. Virasana, like a night watchman. Anugamana, following their footsteps. Stavana, praising them. Pranama, offering obeisances to Yudhishthira Maharaj, all of them. So Krishna is doing all these menial services. Snigdheshu pandushu jagat pranatim cha Vishnor. Although Krishna is Vishnu, in front of whom entire Jagat will offer pranams, Jagat pranatim cha Vishnor, still Snigdheshu pandushu, because Pandavas agreed to act as an instrument in Krishna's will. Pandavas are malleable by Krishna's desires. Krishna is doing all these menial services to the Pandavas. This is the glory of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. Devotees act according to Krishna's desires, and Krishna acts according to their devotees' desires, and that's a wonderful spiritual relationship, eternal spiritual relationship that nourishes the heart of the soul and the super soul completely. And all this selfish thinking, narrow-minded thinking, independent, so-called independent thinking, autonomous thinking, that will not satisfy anybody. Any thought or any action or any emotion that is disconnected from Krishna can never lead to satisfaction. Only those thoughts, those desires, those actions, those interactions that are Krishna-centered can nourish the soul. For that, a willingness to act as an instrument in Krishna's will is mandatory. Otherwise, we will think ourselves independent and enjoy that so-called independent life which is disconnected from Krishna, and it's very meaningless, very useless. Right? So, when we act as instrument in Krishna's will, then our words and our actions becomes as good as Krishna's words and Krishna's actions. Kasmayena vibhasito yamatulo gnana pradipah pura Tadrupena cha naradaya munaye krishnaya tadrupena yogindraya tadatmanatha bhagavadrataya karunyata tatshuddham vimalam vishokamamrutam satyam param dhimahi. In the beginning of the creation, Lord Krishna spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Brahma, and Brahma spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. Actually, Krishna in the form of Brahma spoke Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. Krishna, using Brahma as an instrument in his will, transmitted the knowledge of Bhagavatam to Narada Muni. And in the form of Narada Muni, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Vyasadeva. And in the form of Vyasadeva, Krishna spoke Bhagavatam to Sukadeva Goswami. And empowering Sukadeva Goswami, making Sukadeva Goswami as an instrument in his will, Krishna communicated the message of Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Like that, in this glorious parampara, whether Krishna is speaking or Brahma is speaking or Narada Muni is speaking or Vyasadeva is speaking or Sukadeva Goswami is speaking or Suta Goswami is speaking, it is Krishna who is personally speaking through them, making them as an instrument. Their words are as good as Krishna's words. One who agrees to act as instrument of Krishna is a representative of Krishna. What he says, what he does, what he decides, what he thinks is as good as Krishna's thinking, Krishna's decision, Krishna's action. That's the glory of acting as an instrument in Krishna's way. An instrument becomes a representative. All the Guru Parampara is like that. When you transparently transmit the transcendental teachings of Krishna for the transformation of common people, you are just acting as Krishna's representative with full loyalty. So far we have seen the glory of acting as an instrument in Krishna's desires. Can we have a quick recap of what we discussed? Why should we act as instruments in Krishna's will, from basic points to deeper points? Can you please say it little bit? Then I can move ahead.
As hand is part of body.
Okay, we are parts of Krishna, amshas of Krishna. Second,
Yes.
we are servants of Krishna. Next,
The flute can become so glorious, living conscious being can.
if an inanimate instrument like a flute can become so glorious, what to speak of a devotee? Okay, fine. We have seen an example.
Even if you are so small,
You can.
Even if we are insignificant and small, Krishna can empower us to accomplish great things. Okay, any other point? Damodar Leela, rope and mortar, empowered by Krishna. Okay.
Everything is done already.
Yeah, everything is already accomplished and you get the credit for that accomplishment. That's the glory of acting as an instrument. Any other point? Huh? Yeah, it's on the platform of love, affection, not exploitation. Okay, anything else? Krishna likes to see his devotees glorious, accomplish many things. Good. Anything else?
acting as Krishna's instrument does not mean it is humiliation.
It is not humiliation, it's glorification. Okay, anything else?
11th chapter, but
That is 11th chapter, you remember. Tasmatvamuttishta yashoravasa Nimitta matram bhava samyasachi. Anything else?
Kshenam, everything depends on Krishna. And
Yoga kshema vahamiham. One who agrees to act as Krishna's instruments will be taken care of by Krishna completely.
even if we are acting as instruments, everything that is being done is ultimately Krishna doing.
Yes. We should not have self-pity. मेरे को instrument बना दिया. They're using me as tool, like screwdriver. I have no independence. I'm being used up like this. No, you are given an opportunity, a privilege to be in their hands. Okay, anything else?
compare mother with mother's love.
Mother's love, yes.
Krishna does all the activities but gives the glory.
Yes.
When devotee takes great pleasure in acting as instrument for Krishna, at the same time Krishna takes great pleasure in acting as per devotees.
Yes, amazing. Anything from the kids? They're listening? Nothing you recollect?
Mama cooking pizza.
Yeah.
Our words and actions become as good as Krishna's when we enter an instrument of Krishna. So
Yes.
we become the representative of Krishna.
Yes. An instrument becomes representative. Yes.
Krishna never does anything for himself. He always makes his devotees as his instruments so that he can reciprocate back and turn them glorious.
Yes.
Discuss the example of Kamsa, he killed, but
Krishna has no interest to take or enjoy the results of his activities. Right? He gives all the privileges and freebies and outcome results to his devotees. Krishna killed Bhaumasur, also called Narakasur. And one who kills a king can claim the kingdom of the king who is killed, right? But did Krishna ever sat on the throne of Pragyotishapura or Narakasur's kingdom? No. Who sat? His son. Bhumidevi came, Bhumata came and said, "Here is my grandson, my son's son. He's not like my son. My son is a villain, I understand. Thanks for killing him. But he's a good person." Then Krishna said, "Okay, let's enthrone him." So Krishna has no greed for the kingdom of either Hastinapur kingdom or Mathura or Dwaraka or Pragyotishapur or any kingdom. He made, what is his name? Sahadev. I forgot his name. Narakasur's son as the king of Pragyotishapur. So Krishna has no greed. He doesn't want to enjoy. He wants to give all credits and privileges to his devotees. Now, having understood so much about the glory and the way of being an instrument in Krishna's desires or Krishna's plans or will, let's also see the other side of the story. It's not always that easy to act as instrument in Krishna's will. Because we are conscious beings. Now, as I said sometime back, these instruments have no consciousness. So they can act as instruments. But we are conscious animate beings. So for us the reason or motivation to act as instruments is our gratitude, compassion, credit, this and that. We have seen so many things. Love, affection, all that. Duty, mindedness and all that. But one more nuance here is that the difference between an animate instrument and inanimate instrument is an inanimate instrument has no independence, has no consciousness to act. It's obliged to act. It has no other way other than acting, no other option. But an animate instrument or a conscious living being voluntarily agrees to act as an instrument. The example is all the devotees and specifically Ramananda Rai. Ramananda Rai was speaking so many deeper and higher spiritual principles in front of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know that, right? Sancharya Rama Bhida Bhakta Mege Svabhakti Siddhanta Chayamritani. So Ramananda Rai was speaking about Radha Tattva, Krishna Tattva in front of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Ramananda Rai is compared with a cloud. Sancharya Rama Bhida Bhakta Megha is a Bhakta Megha, is a devotee cloud. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ocean of all Siddhantas, ocean of all philosophical truths. So he is an ocean and is a cloud. And where does the cloud get water from? From the ocean only. And that cloud is raining that water that he has taken from the ocean back on the ocean. Similarly, Ramananda Rai got all the principles and teachings and glories of Radha Krishna, their tattva, understanding from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and speaking back in front of him as Mahaprabhu is asking questions. Right? So, this ocean empowers the cloud to rain. And the rain cloud rains the water back on the ocean. Apparently, it seems that the rain cloud is filling the ocean. No, the rain cloud is being filled by the ocean. So the water body here is empowering that cloud. Once all the water is gone, cloud has no water. Cloud is just moving like that according to the movements of the wind. Similarly, devotee seems to be doing so many things, but the Lord is giving all the power to the devotee to accomplish all these things. Right? So in this context, Ramanandra says, Mora jihva veena yantra tumi veena dhari, tomar mane yehi uthe, tahai uchari. You can also say, Mora jihva veena yantra tumi veena dhari, tomar mane yehi uthe, tahai uchari. Mora jihva veena yantra. My tongue is a veena. Tumi veena dhari. And you are the one who is playing that veena. Right? So veena has the ability to produce so many ragas, but someone has to play it. This phone, I don't have phone. A phone has ability to click photos, but someone has to click them. On its own, it cannot click. Right? So what to click, what to capture, someone has to operate it. Right? Even if you have 10 megapixel, 100 megapixel, 1000 megapixel, someone has to click it, operator. Even if it's flying on its own drone, someone is just doing with the remote. It cannot fly on its own. Even if you are making things work on artificial intelligence, AI, that NI is the source of AI. Natural intelligence is the source of artificial intelligence. Right? Otherwise, artificial intelligence cannot function on its own without natural intelligence. Someone has made it. Right? Anyways, so, Mora jihva veena yantra tumi veena dhari. My tongue is just a veena. And you are the veena dhari. I am speaking Radha Tattva, Krishna Tattva, and so many rasas and many other exalted spiritual truths, all because you are empowering me to speak. Without you giving me that strength and inspiration, knowledge, I won't be able to speak anything. Tomar mane yehi uthe, tahai uchari. Whatever you desire to hear, my tongue is uttering that. The ability of my ability to speak Radha Tattva or Krishna Tattva is your desire. I won't be able to speak Radha Tattva or Krishna Tattva or anything else without you desiring to hear it, without you empowering me to speak it. And one more point he said, Chahi nachibar. He said, you are like a wire puller. I forget the Bengali there. You are like a wire puller. In the olden days, people used to have these puppet shows. Right? 5 fingers. You tie 5 threads to it. Here is Narsimhadev, here is Prahlad Maharaj. Or here is Hiranyakashipu, here is Narasimhadev fighting. So all this through this wire pulling only. Right? Screen is seen, hands are not seen. Somebody is operating it. Oh Lord, you are the wire puller and I am the puppet. Puppet's movement is depending on how the wires are being pulled. So, the way you make me dance, I will dance. The way a puppeteer makes the puppet dance, the puppet will dance. Clear? But here, he is not a inanimate puppet. He is not a lifeless puppet. He is a conscious living being. Therefore, he says that I want to dance according to your desire. Not that I am dancing according to your desire. My desire is to dance according to your desire. Chahi nachi bar. I desire to dance according to your expectation. Therefore, in acting as an instrument in Krishna's will, a devotee has a voluntary spirit. It's not that a devotee is obliged to act as Krishna's instrument. It is not that a devotee has no other option. I have to become an instrument. Not like that. I want to become an instrument. There's an eagerness. There's a voluntary spirit. There is so much of affection and zeal to act according to Krishna's desire. That's what makes the devotee's life glorious. So when you have that great voluntary spirit, then Krishna may make you an instrument in very unimaginable ways, unconventional ways. Earlier we have seen so much glory attributed to the instrument. Now let us see austerity attributed to the instrument also. We have seen, on one side we have seen that how Krishna empowered Bhima to kill Jarasandha. Krishna empowered flute to mesmerize everybody. Krishna empowered that wooden grinding mortar and the rope to uproot Arjuna trees. We have also seen how Krishna empowered who else? Ram empowered, who is that, Hanuman, to jump across the Lanka ocean, to bring Sanjeevani mountain, to revive the lives of Ram, Lakshman and all the other Vanaras, right? Bring big boulders and then make Ram Setu. So Hanumanji did so many things, so, right? All because of Lord Ramchandra's empowerment. So we have seen how that Lord empowered so many devotees to act in so many ways. So acting as an instrument in Krishna's hands will make you do things beyond your ordinary capacity. That we have seen. But sometimes, while acting as an instrument in Krishna's service, you have to underperform also. Not that you will perform more than what you can ordinarily perform, but you underperform also, or you don't perform only. You are asked to keep quiet. You are my instrument, but keep quiet. This should not make noise. Your instrument's job is silence. Kuch mat karo. Chup baitho. Sometimes you have to act as instrument like that also. Let's look at some instruments in Krishna's plans who had to undergo so much austerity. Bhishma. Bhishma acted as Krishna's instrument. What kind of role Krishna gave him? We want Arjuna's way of acting as Krishna's instrument. But how many people want to act as Krishna's instrument like Bhishma? Bhishma was made to fight against Dharma, against Krishna, against Pandavas, while standing on the side of Duryodhana. For a pure devotee like Bhishma, for a Mahajan like Bhishma, to fight on behalf of Duryodhana, such a humiliating situation, such an insulting situation. Even till date, people misunderstand Bhishma. Even till date, people comment on Bhishma. Even devotees misunderstand Bhishma. And Bhishma had to embrace all that bad reputation for all time to come. Although whatever he did 5,000 years back, even till date people are misunderstanding Bhishma. And Bhishma agreed to act. What is Bhishma's acting as instrument in Krishna's will here? Krishna wanted to give a message to all of us. However powerful, influential you may be, however glorious and accomplished you may be, if you stand on the side of adharma, you will have to be defeated. And Krishna wanted to give this very, very important message to all of us. And he used Bhishma as an instrument. Bhishma, you are most powerful warrior. You are more powerful than all the Pandavas put together. When you are defeated because of standing on the side of Duryodhana, people will get a common lesson. We should never support a villain. We should never take the side of an adharmic person like Duryodhana. For them to understand this point, I want you to act as instrument of my will. I want you to fight on behalf of Duryodhana. Stand against me. Stand against my Pandavas. I know your heart is on our side, but your body should be there. Your hand should be there. Your arrows should be pointed towards us, not on behalf of us. Bhishma said, okay, fine, my dear Lord. Very painful. If Bhishma's role is given to you, will you be comfortable to do that role? Not that easy. Just reflect on certain services that you are asked to do. Right? On a festival day. No, I will do Abhishek. Abhishek nahi, to chappal stand hai bahar. Right? No, I can't do that service. Yeah, I am very humble, but still, I want to. My hand should be above Krishna's head with a conch shell, not under a devotee's feet with a chappal. Right? तो चप्पल नहीं पकड़ूंगा, कौन शिल पकड़ूंगा? It's difficult to act as a humble, menial instrument in another Vaishnav's hands, or Guru's hands, or Krishna's hands. If this is so humiliating, how humiliating it is for Bhishma. Such a Mahajan seen on the side of a pakka materialistic person, the representative of Kali, Duryodhana. Very, very difficult. But he did that role, being an instrument in Krishna's will. Hanuman, we spoke so much about Hanuman. Hanuman, if he wanted to destroy Duryodhan, Dushyasan, Karna, Shakuni, he could have made a chutney out of them. Right? In one moment. He doesn't need 18 days. 18 minutes are sufficient. 18 seconds are sufficient for Hanuman. He will just expand his body and sleep on them. And he just lie down like this. Everybody will become chutney under his huge body. Right? He can just get some mountain peaks. He'll just go and get some big mountain from Himalayas and he will drop on Duryodhan's army. 11 Akshanada's army. It will just become chutney under Hanumanji's mountain. Sufficient. Hanumanji is such a powerful warrior. But what is the role given to him in Kurukshetra battle? Just sit on this Kapidhvaja. Sit on the flag of Arjuna and keep blessing him. This mudra not expected from you. Only this mudra. Right? Just do like this, sufficient. We don't want your punch. You want your blessing, Ashirwad. And Hanuman said, okay, fine. No other role. No other role. One more role you can take. What is that? Some excitement in life. When Bhima roars, you can also roar along with him. Oh my God. Just sounds, only audio, no animation. Right. So, that is the role given to our Hanumanji. Now, while acting as instrument in Krishna's consciousness, Krishna's plans, Krishna's desires, you may not always get to do beyond what you can do or what you can ordinarily do. You have to keep quiet and not do anything also. That is acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. Samudra Manthan, you know, Samudra Manthan episode. All the devatas and the demons together came to lift this big Mandara mountain and they broke their limbs, they could not lift this mountain. So, the Lord called Garuda. Garuda lift this mountain. Garuda lifted the mountain on his back and brought that mountain all the way to this milk ocean, Kshir Sagar. Then Lord Vishnu told, out. Garuda, you can't be here anymore. Why? Vasuki serpent is coming. Now, Garuda acted as an instrument without he bringing the churning rod, Mandara mountain. This Samudra Manthan could not have happened. Because in churning, while churning, you just can't churn without the churning rod. You can't just take your hands and do like this, splashing some water, nectar, when you get a lot of nectar. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a churning rod. In Damodar Leela also, Krishna, when it caught the churning rod of Mother Yashoda, not her hand, not her leg, not anything else. He caught only the churning rod, churning stopped. When churning rod is not there, churning will not happen. And Garuda's major contribution is to bring that churning rod in the form of Mandara mountain, and he is not allowed to even witness it. Out. Please go out. Then Garuda did not negotiate. Don't worry, my dear Lord, I will not eat Vasuki serpent. I will sense control. Today I am doing Ekadashi. I am doing Upvas today. Don't worry, please be rest assured. I will not do it. He did not negotiate at all. He was asked to come to do that service, and after that, out. He just left. Silently he left. This is acting according to Krishna's will, acting as an instrument in Krishna's plan. Don't expect that when you're acting as instrument in Krishna's plan, it is always very palatable to you. The other examples that I showed earlier, they are exciting to you. Initial, little austere, hurting to the ego. Later, I'll be able to do more than what I can do. Or he will do everything and I will get the credit. It's exciting to you. But now, he will not allow you to do what you want to do also. He will not allow you to show your potential. All your potential is subdued. Krishna wanted Arjuna to become the hero of Kurukshetra battle, not Hanuman. Hanuman, thoda side, right? I gave you so much importance in Treta Yuga, in Ramavatar, but now I want him to take the front seat. So sometimes Krishna will keep some devotees in front and some devotees behind. You just have to accept it. You can't negotiate with Krishna, you can't argue with Krishna. In the 7th canto, Prahalad is the hero. All the devatas were sidelined. Only Prahalad came in front. In the 3rd canto, Brahma is in front. In 4th canto, Shiva is in front. And in 7th canto, Brahma and Shiva went on side, Prahalad came in front. In the 8th canto, Prahalad went, he was on the side, Bali Maharaj came in front. So the Lord will give different roles to different devotees in different situations and empowers different devotees to do different things. We just have to accept it. Right? That is Vaishnava character, that is the mood of a Vaishnava. So there is no end to this discussion. But let's end here. It's 8:16. 8 and 16. So if you have any questions or comments, you can ask. Before that, let's do a little more recap. We did little recap in the middle. Let's do one more recap. Any points that you would like to share? I thought of doing some interaction, but somehow I only spoke. But at least let me do a revision.
Learn to be fine.
When?
Underperform also sometimes.
Sometimes, if it's required. Anything
Like,
else? What did you understand in today's class? You can recollect, meanwhile others will say. Okay? Anything else? Anybody else?
We should always obey Krishna's plan, whatever it may be, underperforming or over.
Acting according to Krishna's expectations. Anything else?
Whatever service we get, we accept that as Krishna's plan. That sincere.
Yes.
Bhishma Dev was given such a role where he had to completely work against Dharma.
Apparently. While acting as instrument in Krishna's service, we may not always get a palatable engagement. We need to be prepared for anything that Krishna expects from us. Any other points, or shall we take questions? Yes, Prabhu. Any point? Anything that you remember?
Everything is will is Guru's will is also more than even Krishna's will.
Yeah, correct. Yes. The question, okay.
Actually, it's not like Krishna is actually coming and telling us, okay, this is the service or whatever. But does it mean that whatever is happening with us, we just take it as Krishna's will and just go on with the plan? Or where does
Our free will, our common sense, our intelligence.
if we use free will, is it like going against Krishna's plan? Or what exactly, how do we do it?
Krishna has given us certain teachings, protocols, policies, norms, an understanding of dharma, what is appropriate, what is inappropriate, what is good, what is bad, and all that. So using this knowledge, using this discretion or discrimination between dharma and adharma, we need to align our moods and deeds and needs to the dharma and voluntarily and eliminate adharma and avoid adharma. Right? So that is free will. That is exercising free will. You need to exercise your free will in such a way that you align all your moods and deeds and needs in accordance with dharma and avoid adharma. Till then we have that free will. We can exercise that free will. And also avoid miseries as much as possible. Avoid any unnecessary inconveniences. Avoid any threats or unpalatable situations, unhealthy situations or whatever. Avoid as much as you can. But despite all your efforts, you won't be able to avoid certain adharma, avoid certain difficulties or miseries. Then just accept it. Right? When situation is beyond your control, surrender to the situation. When situation is within your control, you can rectify, you can bring in a positive transformation in the situation, exercise your power. So this is what we can do. Does it make sense? Does I answer your question?
Alignment means aligning with whatever is given with
Hmm.
the
Shastra.
Yes. Any other question, comment?
Harekrishna. So this is the question which I have since long time. Prabhuji, you said that we have to align to Krishna's plan, and Krishna gave through his teachings that what is dharma, what is adharma. So among dharma, Krishna has different plan to each devotee. Prabhuji. So how to know what is the plan of Krishna for me, so that I can
We
align?
may not know, and we need not know also. If we know, that's fine. If we don't know, no problem. All we need to do is, we have been given a regimen by the acharyas. We have been given some guidelines to perform sadhana bhakti by the acharyas. Let's do it. Right? And we have been given an opportunity to perform certain services for the Lord. So let's serve. Seva, sadhana, swadhyaya. So these are our sadachar. This is what we need to do. We have to do. So Krishna will extract what we are meant to do. Sometimes we have to do some decision making. You can always consult Vaishnavas and come to the best possible outcome. But what Krishna is expecting from us, it is communicated to us through Guru and Vaishnavas, and of course our own contemplation to some extent. But let it unfold. Let's not forcefully try to know it. Right? Let's not forcefully try to unfold it. It's very curious. I don't know. But let's do our service. Let's do our parishrama to the best of our ability. Then Krishna will reveal when the right time comes. He will reveal through his devotees, through the Vaishnavas, through Guru, through Parampara, through situations. So let's be observant. Let's be introspective.
Prabhuji, like one more doubt is one should be observant, one should be introspective. But suppose if I think I'm not so smart enough to be observant or introspective. So even though Krishna is revealing me, but I'm not taking it as a consideration, and I'm just doing sadhana, my regular seva.
Then also fine. Sometimes devotees may be very simple, innocent. They may not think so much. They just go with the flow. That's fine. Krishna will take care of them. As long as their sadhana, sadachar, they are good, their intentions are good, they have purity of thought, Krishna will take care of them. Yoga Kshemam Vahamiham. We should have that faith at least. We may not be so analytical or introspective, or like we may not be so great visionaries, etc. That's fine. Right? Somebody may be simple-hearted or innocent. Just stick to simple performance of sadhana bhakti. Krishna will take care of us. Not that only big visionaries or leaders or big people only will go back to Godhead. Simple-hearted devotees also can go back to Godhead. Nanda Maharaj was very simple. And Vasudev, he can understand politics, being a Kshatriya. So Vasudev said, Nanda Maharaj, you go to Vrindavan as early as possible. There may be some demon attacks. Because Vasudev knows the political situation, what comes as planned. Kamala has dispatched so many demons to kill all the kids who were born in the last 10 days. So Vasudev knows this and he told Nanda Maharaj. And Nanda Maharaj said, yes, I will go. Simple-hearted Nanda Maharaj. He went. By the time he went, Putana attacked Krishna and then Putana died there. Then Nanda Maharaj thought, oh, Vasudeva must have become a mystic yogi. He could predict what's going to happen here. Right? Out of simplicity, he was thinking like that. Right? So devotees can be very, very simple-hearted also. Not naive, but simple-hearted. Hanumanji is very powerful, very intelligent, but he's very simple-hearted also. One day Sita Devi was putting some sindoor on her forehead. Hanumanji said, "But your mother, what are you doing? What is this orange red dot on your head?" Your brahmachari, what will he understand about sindoor and all that? She said that, "If I put this, Lord Ramachandra will be happy." Oh, really? Then Hanumanji applied sindoor all over his body to make Ram happy. Prasanna ho, Prabhu, prasanna ho. Right? Seeing my sindoor. So this is the simplicity of Hanuman, always very intelligent. So it is really a special quality. People who are very, very intelligent and smart, they can't be simple, they can't be innocent. People who are very simple-hearted and innocent, they're generally little naive and they can't be very smart and intelligent. But being a combination of both, maintaining that simple Vaishnava simplicity and humility and modesty and honesty, while being very smart and very understanding what's happening with other people and the situations and taking very intelligent, sensible, rational decisions, understanding deep philosophy. This combination is really rare. There are some brain Vaishnavas. Hanumanji is one example, and even amongst our contemporary circles, we can see some devotees are like that. Very intelligent, very sharp, but very simple-hearted, very down-to-earth, very modest, very humble. Devotee should be like that. Doesn't seem very easy, right? Okay. Any other question? Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah, you can ask. Actually, ask 10 questions today.
No, really.
Huh?
Three.
Three is also a big number. Let others also get opportunity. Morning also he was only asking so many questions.
After Krishna left for Gauranga
Huh?
Darshan, submerged in the ocean, they say.
After Krishna's
Any question on the class?
after
Any question on the class? Today's class.
no, this was my doubt. Can I ask
No, let's ask.
later?
Let's
Okay.
prioritize
Okay.
those devotees who have questions on today's topic.
Pranam Prabhuji. As you said, being an instrument to Krishna is not always we will get fame, yasho, and all. Like sometimes, you give an example of Hanuman and Bhishma. Like they're given very simple roles in Kurukshetra, or sometimes very humiliating. Because they're very great personalities and they're the highest bhaktas, they're able to be as the instrument of Krishna. And we, being a normal human being, like in our daily life, we are sometimes overpowered and we also get a message from Krishna to be very simple or just be calm. And sometimes we also face some very accidental situation or shocking situations which we don't expect. Being like we think that we are Krishna Bhakta, so everything will be going good with us. We also face like many bad situations like loss of someone close to us or something bad like failures in life. So how do we get that power to face such situation and still move on with that positive attitude that we are being played as a flute for Krishna?
Acting as an instrument in Krishna's plans or Krishna's desires is at one level. And experiencing the results of our own past, good or bad deeds, is another level. We need to do both. So, while doing some service to the Lord, you may act according to His expectations, considering yourself as a tool or instrument. That's fine. That's one level. But by using or misusing our free will, we have done so many good and bad deeds. And we need to face those consequences. Sometimes they are unpalatable. Whenever we are facing an unpalatable situation, it's not that Krishna is treating like Hanuman or Bhishma and asking us to take a low profile. It could be a result of my own past misdeed. Don't think that Krishna is always using me as a small instrument only, not big instrument. He's always sidelining me. He's always using me as an instrument in this way only, not that way. I want to be instrument like Arjuna, not Bhishma. Like Hanuman in Ramayana, not in Mahabharata. No, sometimes we may lose something, or we may face some difficulty, or have some kind of unpalatable situation because of our own past misdeeds also. We have done so many aparadhas, we have so many anarthas, so many misdeeds, we will get that result, consequences. There also Krishna's hand is there. There Krishna is not using as an instrument in his plan. There Krishna is teaching us a lesson. Krishna is punishing us and purifying us. By giving that punishment for our past misdeeds, Krishna is purifying us. See it from that perspective.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the class, I'm really grateful. My question is that, is our intuition telling us what's right or wrong, or when we get an intuition on what to do at that particular moment, is it Krishna's voice telling us his desire? That's my question.
It's a wonderful question, brilliant question, practical question. Is it my intuition, or speculation, or imagination, or Paramatma's voice? Right? Okay. Now, you are attending a Zoom class, imagine, or not even attending Zoom class, a live residential class. Say the sound system is not transmitting the sound properly, right? Now, the speaker is making a point, or quoting a shloka, or giving a lesson, or giving some philosophical insight. You may be sitting in one corner of the room where you are not able to hear properly, sufficiently. Okay. Then, still you understand what the speaker is speaking, provided you are totally in tune with the class and you already have some kind of understanding of the philosophy. So I quoted one shloka. Janma karma cha metityam evam yoveti tatvatah. So speaker is speaking, speaker is transmitting it. You heard Janma karma cha metityam evam yoveti tatvatah. Then you assume what is missing there, because you already have some understanding of it. Right? Or even when a lesson is being made, not just a standard sloka, even when a lesson is being made, you kind of understand the lesson, what the speaker is up to, because you are familiar with the Vaishnava culture. You know the overall thing, even if you miss some bits here and there, you kind of assume or understand or anticipate or still get the essence of it. Maybe more than what a person who is sitting right in front and able to hear very clearly, they cannot understand so much. Coming back to your question, when we are hearing when we are having some intuition or imagination or speculation, is it our own mental concoction or our own mind prompting us to think in this way, or super soul prompting us? It can be either this or that, depending on the purity of our consciousness. The more we purify ourselves with sadhana, seva, swadhyaya, sadachar, sangha, the more we equip ourselves with all these faculties given to us by the acharyas, basically the more we purify our consciousness with our spiritual practices, the more we will be able to hear Paramatma's inner voice, the voice of Paramatma. But when the purity of consciousness is not there, we will not be able to hear Paramatma's voice. Mind's voice will appear louder than Paramatma's voice. But when we purify ourselves by sadhana bhakti, Paramatma's voice will become louder than our mind's voice. We will be able to clearly discriminate whether it is Paramatma's inspiration or my mind's intuition or speculation. We will be able to clearly discriminate to the degree we are pure in our consciousness. And that purification happens by service to devotees, sincere sadhana, shastric study, japa, all these things, darshan, dham darshan, all the 5 elements, 5 panchanga bhakti, or 64 limbs, or 9 processes of bhakti, all of them will slowly, gradually purify our consciousness, then we will be able to differentiate. Is it Paramatma telling me, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenam upayantati? He is giving me that buddhi, or my mind is just taking me for a drive. So, one more thing is, this whole burden of differentiating between Paramatma's voice and our own mental speculation is not totally there on us, on our head. You can transfer that burden little bit to our seniors also. So I feel like this, my dear Prabhu, your counselor, who may be whoever it is, Prabhu Mataji, please, I feel like this. Is it correct? Can you please evaluate my thoughts? Can you please tell me, is it my mental speculation, or is it there some validity in it? Is it Paramatma's thing? Because they are also in touch with their Paramatma to some degree. They also have done some sadhana. They also attain some purity of consciousness. They will be able to differentiate whether it is a speculation or Paramatma's voice. Right? Go to someone who is more spiritually advanced than you, and then present your thoughts or feelings or intuitions, as you said. Then they will be able to give a clear indication. Take a second opinion if you want. But before that, we need to also check how pure are we. That's why someone who is not practicing bhakti, they will have hundreds of speculations. Manorathena sati dhavato bhahi. But someone who has heard Krishna, who acquired that knowledge of Krishna consciousness from a bona fide source, for them, nashto moha smritirlabdha tat prasadan mayachyuta sthitosmi kata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. They will have super clear consciousness. Nashto moha, all illusions are gone. Smritirlabdha, they regain memory. Tat prasadan mayachyuta, with the prasada, with the mercy of the Lord. All the doubts are gone, cleared. With a clear consciousness, they'll enter action mode. They'll fight. They'll serve. Makes sense.
Prabhuji, one more follow-up question to when you were answering Mataji. I had a question that was when we are in a particular situation, is it necessary to really introspect if it's, are we being an instrument or is it our karma? Is it really necessary to introspect that?
I don't say it's necessary. There's nothing wrong in it. Whether I am facing this situation, unpalatable situation, as a result of my past misdeed, or Krishna is using me as an instrument. Nothing wrong in thinking that way. But sometimes it may not be needed also. It all depends on the situation. You have some case study in mind to ask like this? General. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for this wonderful class. Prabhuji, my question is, as you have said before, Krishna empowered the wooden mortar and the ropes to like help in uprooting the Yamalarjuna trees. So why can't he also like empower his devotees to like for his service? Like why can't he
What empowerment do you want?
them to
What do you want to do? You have to preach all your school kids. Like Prahlad Maharaj and make all of them devotees. What empowerment do you want? Okay, continue the question.
why can't Krishna himself empower his devotees to act as his instruments?
He empowers. Why do you think he is not empowering? Why can't Krishna empowers? Did they have some example where Krishna did not empower somebody, although they deserved to get that empowerment? You have some case study in the mind? You have some example? Krishna empowers. All deserving devotees are empowered to do so many things more than what they can do ordinarily. All of us are empowered. The very fact that we are given this privilege to serve Krishna, to chant the holy names, to discuss Bhagavatam, we are empowered to ask this question. Without that empowerment, we won't be able to do anything. So Krishna is empowering. Point is, many people can't accept that empowerment. They are not ready to take it. Empowerment baad mein lo. First, let me do my activities. Okay. Thank you. We'll conclude 8:40.
Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki jai.